You're watching Adorama TV.
Hey everybody, welcome to Adorama TV. I'm Mark Wallace. Well, we've got a lot of questions about lenses, and somebody wrote in and said, Mark, if you could only buy one lens, what lens would that be? Well, for me, it's a total no-brainer. It's the Canon 24-70 f2.8L lens. I love this lens. In fact, it's a proven fact that if I only had one lens, I'd use this one, because a lot of times when I travel, I can only pack one lens, and this is the one that I pack every single time. Now, why is that? Well, it's because this lens is a very versatile lens. At the 24mm side, I can do scenic photography. At the 70mm side, I can do nice portrait work. So I'm going to get some nice compression at 70, and I'm going to get really, really nice wide open skies at 24. And it's a 2.8L, which means that the aperture is nice and wide. And because it's an L lens, it's professional, so I know that my chromatic aberration and the sharpness are all there. It's all boiled in right here. Now, I've taken this lens all over the world. I've taken it to India, I've taken it to Singapore and Thailand, and I think it's been to Japan and Germany and Italy and France, and you get the idea. I've used this thing all over the place. I just love it. Now, if you're a Nikon shooter, there is a version, it's a 24-70 f2.8, and it's a Nikon, and it works. We've looked at these hand in hand, and the Nikon performs equally as well as the Canon. I like both of these lenses. So if you only have one lens and you're a shooter like me that does a lot of travel photography and portrait work, shooting mainly people, this is the lens I recommend. Now, the Nikon is just over $1,700, and the Canon is just under $1,400. But the nice thing is, these things are going to last you for years and years and years and years. So if you're doing a lot of stock photography and professional work, you'll make your money back very, very soon. Now, there's only one gripe I have about both of these lenses, and that is that when you zoom the lens in and out, the barrel actually moves outside of the lens, and so some dirt and grit can get inside of your lens. I wish they would enclose this so it didn't do that. So you do have to have these lenses cleaned occasionally because of that. But other than that, I really can't complain about either one of these lenses. They're really nice. Well, that leads me to my next question. Well, what if you could buy two lenses? Well, again, it's a no-brainer for me. So my trusty Canon 70-200 f2.L is one I use constantly. In fact, it's really a toss-up for me if it's the 24-70 or the 70-200. The only reason that I go with the 24-70 over the 70-200 is that when I'm traveling, this thing is just too long of a lens to do a lot of scenic work, and it's a little bit intimidating when I'm doing street photography. That's why this one wins out over this guy for me. But for in the studio, when you're doing studio work, the 70-200 for me is the choice lens because of three things. One, it gives you perfect compression, so you can get really nice shallow depth of field, and the background looks like it's a little bit closer to your subject. You have a nice comfortable distance working from your subject, so when you're shooting people, you're not right on top of them with a longer lens. And it also has a nice feature when you're zooming in and out to get nice composition. So you can zoom in and out on this 70-200, and so you can get a medium shot, a tight shot, a wide shot, all without having to move very much. And so in the studio, this is my choice of lens. So if I could do two lenses, then it's the 24-70 and the 70-200, and it's a seamless, from 70 to 70, so that you're not missing anything. Now, this guy here is not the IS lens, and so if you're doing a lot of scenic work, and I recommend that you get the image stabilized lens, not this one, which is not image stabilized. If you're in the studio, you don't really need an image stabilized lens. Now, again, we looked at the Nikon version. This is the Nikon version. This is a 70-200 as well. This one has vibration reduction, which is Nikon's IS equivalent, and it's a very, very nice lens as well. So it behaves very similarly to the Canon lens. So if you're a Nikon shooter, check out the 70-200 f2.8 on the Nikon side of things. Now, the Canon lens is about $1,200 for the Canon lens. It doesn't have IS, remember, so it's not image stabilized. The Nikon version, which does, is about $2,200, so it's a little bit more expensive, actually a lot more expensive for an image stabilized lens. Nikon does have a non-image stabilized lens for about $1,100, but it's an 80-200 millimeter lens, so you're missing about 10 millimeters of focal length when you go from your 70 to your 80. But I don't think people are going to recognize that too much. Okay, so there are my two choices. If I only had two lenses, it would be the 24-70 and the 70-200. If I only had one lens, it's the 24-70 for me. Well, thank you so much for joining us this week. Remember, if you have questions about photography gear, lenses, video equipment, all that kind of stuff, you can send those to me at AskMark@Adorama.com. And please subscribe to our channel so you can participate in all the forums and groups and get updates and see everything we're doing every single week. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next week.
This episode is brought to you by AdoramaTV. Visit the Adorama Learning Center where you'll find photography tips and techniques, links to the gear used in this episode, and related videos. For all the latest photography, video, and computer gear, visit Adorama.com. And the next time you're in New York City, visit our store located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue.